Hello, students. Welcome back to my lecture, Protected Area and their Network. Hope you all are doing good. Last lecture, we discussed about the Protected Area Network in India. So, in continuation of the Protected Area Network, we have already covered the different categories of the protected area that has been designed for the protection and conservation of the species. So, biodiversity conservation, we can do in two ways. One is the in situ conservation, and there is the ex situ conservation. Among in situ conservation, we have protected area network and some centrally sponsored schemes. We have already done four different categories of the protected area, that is national park, sanctuary, conservation reserve, and conservation reserve. So we have already discussed all these things. So, protected area is a designated geographical space, land, or water area that is managed and conserved to achieve a specific conservation objective. And the primary goal of protected area is to safeguard the ecological integrity of the region, maintaining biological diversity, and provide a habitat for various plants and plants and animal species. So, a protected area in India collectively form a network ensuring the representation of various ecosystems across the country. This network helps in maintaining biodiversity, preserving critical habitat, and supporting ecological process. So, we have a good framework of protected area, good network of the protected area, and what are the legal framework? The Wildlife Protection Act of 1972 is a key legal framework governing the establishment, management, and conservation of protected areas in India. The Act empowers the government to declare a specific area as protected, regulate activities within these areas, and enforce penalties for violation. So, apart from the protected area network, like national park, sanctuary, community reserve, conservation reserve, there are certain centrally sponsored schemes. Sometimes government when see there are a need for a specific species for the conservation, then they launch the central government, the state government launch some schemes. So centrally sponsored schemes are schemes that are implemented by state government of India but are largely funded by the central government within a defined state government share. Apart from national park, sanctuary, conservation reserve, community reserve, there are certain centrally sponsored categories, and those categories are centrally sponsored schemes or categories are the tiger reserve, elephant reserve, there are biosphere reserves, and Ramsar wetland sites. So, we'll be discussing about the tiger reserve. What are the tiger reserves and what is the Project Tiger? What is NTCA, National Tiger Conservation Authority? So, before we discuss about the tiger reserve or the Project Tiger, we should know why tiger conservation is important. Tiger is a keystone species. Tiger are an apex predator and play a vital role in maintaining the ecological balance of the habitat. They help regulate prey population, which in turn help maintaining the balance of other species in the ecosystem. Since it is on the apex, it is an apex predator. So, conserving the predator, apex predator like tiger, we are actually conserving the whole ecosystem because we have to protect the species. To protect the species, we have to protect its food, like herbivores. And herbivores means we have to protect the plants so that they can survive, they can feed on. So this is a complete pyramid, a complete this thing. Conserving apex species means conserving the whole ecosystem. So to conserve the biodiversity, we have to conserve these apex species. Tourism. Tiger are a major tourist attraction in countries like India and help generate revenue through ecotourism. Those who want to visit any forest want to see tiger first. Tiger is the priority, though every species is important, but tiger is on the top priority. Okay, I want to see the tiger. So this attracts the conservation of tigers, attracts the tourism also. The revenue can support local community and contribute to the economy. Whatever we are spending to see the tiger or visiting the national park, The every park generate, every area generate the revenue, and that revenue can support local community, the people living around the area where tiger are staying. Cultural significance. Tiger are an important cultural symbols in many cultures and religion, including Hindus and Buddhists. Scientific research. Tiger are an important subject of scientific research as they are keystone species, and their conservation can help protect other species in their ecosystem. So this is a very important species for the scientific research. And then tiger climate change. Tiger is also an indicator species. So, which means that their presence or absence can indicate the health of the ecosystem. Conserving tiger can help protect the ecosystem from the effort of climate change. However, we had the long distribution of the tiger in India. They were well distributed throughout its range country. However, because of the major threat to this species, the population has declined. Those threats are the poaching. Poaching is the largest immediate threat to the remaining tiger population in India and other part of the world. And illegal trade. This picture itself shows that every body part of the tiger is being used in some way or other way. So, after narcotics, the wildlife trade is the second largest trade in the world. Tiger are poached and traded for different body parts. Their skin are taxidermed and turned into rugs or for luxury home decor. And their skeleton are soaked in vats of wine to make tiger bone health tonic. Sizable market for tiger part and products are found in China, Indonesia, Laos, Myanmar, and Vietnam. So, and there are many Asian medicines, especially the Chinese medicines, which are using the products from the tiger. So, in international market, the tiger, every part of the tiger is very, very important. And one skin of the tiger skin may cost from 10 lakhs to the 1 crore rupees in international market. Major threat to the tiger is the habitat loss. Habitat loss due to increased demand for the urbanization and industrialization for the growing population. So these are the major threat. We had 9 subspecies of tiger in the world. Out of 9, 3 has already been extinct. Those 3 extinct subspecies are Caspian tiger, Javan tiger, and Bali tiger. In India, we have Bengal tiger, Royal Bengal tiger in India, Amur tiger that is distributed from Amur River region of Russia and China and North Korea. Then we have South China tiger, South Central China, Sumatran tiger, Sumatra, Indonesia, Malayan tiger, tip of Thailand and Peninsular Malaysia, and Indo-Chinese tiger, continental Southeast China. So these are the species. Out of 9 subspecies, we have already lost 3, and rest of are threatened, are endangered, and they need conservation from the nation. To observe that the population is declining drastically. So then Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi launched the Project Tiger in 1973. So Project Tiger was launched in 1973 by then Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi to save the Bengal tiger, Indian national animal, Bengal tiger, Indian national animal, and a representation of the nation rich biodiversity. So Project Tiger was launched in 1973. Project Tiger is an ongoing centrally sponsored program of the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, and that provides government assistance to tiger state for tiger conservation in designated tiger reserve. Key objective of the Project Tiger: tiger conservation, preserving tiger natural habitat and preventing their extinction are the main goal for the tiger conservation. Protection of habitat. The project major goal is to protect and uphold the natural integrity of tiger habitat, which are frequently incredibly diverse and rich ecosystem. Tiger anti-poaching measure under the Project Tiger. Tiger anti-poaching measure are also there. put in a place to stop the unlawful hunting and trading of tiger and their body parts, and research and monitoring. To get important data for for efficient conservation, ongoing research and monitoring are carried out on tiger numbers, behavior, and habitats. So, India is home to 75% of the world's tiger population. As per the latest report of the status of tiger in India, the tiger count in the country has surged to 3,682 as of 2022. Tiger reserves are notified by state government as per provision of Section 38 fifth of Wildlife Protection Act 1972 on advice of the National Tiger Conservation Authority. Presently, India accommodates a total of 54 tiger reserves, with most of the recent addition being the Dholpur Karoli Tiger Reserve. So right now we have 54 tiger reserve, and India is home for 75% of the world's tiger population. So there are different in a tiger reserve. There are a different zonation. A tiger reserve may be a national park or wildlife sanctuary or both. So wherever tiger is present and government see the need of the protection of the species, they can declare any national park, any sanctuary, including more areas, as a tiger reserve. So in a tiger reserve, there are zones. Zones are the management units for the proper management of the species. Not only the tiger, but also the keystone, other keystone species. So these two zones are the core zone and the buffer zone. So core zone in a tiger reserve, the core zone is the innermost and most strictly protected area where the tiger population is allowed to thrive undisturbed. Human activities are limited in this zone to minimize any disturbance to the tiger and their habitat. The buffer zone surrounds the core zone and is an area where certain human activities are permitted under strict guidelines. The buffer zone acts as a transition area between the core zone and the surrounding human dominated landscape, providing a buffer for the core tiger habitat. So these are the zonation. These are actually the management unit to handle the most threatened endangered species. So you have National Tiger Conservation Authority. Forest Department, in collaboration with WIA and other government as well as NGOs, carry out the national census every 4 years. In 2005, tiger census was done and no tiger were recorded from Sariska Tiger Reserve. Subsequently, in Panna, no tiger were recorded in 2008. 2005, by 2005, all tiger were vanished from Sariska, and by 2008, no tiger were recorded from Panna, both for the tiger reserve. By this census, an emergency meeting was called up, and Ministry of Environment and Forests set up the Tiger Task Force. Wide notification number 6/4/2005, PT dated April 19, 2005, to review the management of tiger reserve. So an emergency meeting was called up, and Tiger Task Force was initiated. On the recommendation of the Tiger Task Force in 2005, NTCA was constituted by an amendment in Wildlife Protection Act in Act 2006. So it was the emergency meeting. After seeing that there are no tiger in Sariska and Panna, emergency meeting was called up. A Tiger Task Force was made, and Tiger Task Force recommended the formation of the National Tiger Conservation Authority, and it was an amendment in Wildlife Protection Act in 2006. So NTCA, National Tiger Conservation Authority, is a statutory body under the MOEF and CC and looking after the conservation of tigers in India. So the main objective of the tiger reserves for the National Tiger Conservation Authority, providing statutory authority to protect tigers so that compliances of its directive become legal. fostering accountability of center state in management of tiger reserve by providing a basis for MOU with state with our federal structure, providing for an oversight by parliament, addressing livelihood interests of local people in areas surrounding tiger reserve. So, since we already lost tigers from Sariska and Panna Tiger Reserve, so the tiger reintroduction program was initiated in 2006 and in 2006 in Sariska Tiger Reserve and 2009 in Panna Tiger Reserve. During tiger census 2005, when no tiger were found, and after the formation of NTCA, the tiger reintroduction program was started in Sariska in June 28, 2008. From 2008 to 2013, 8 tigers were brought from Ranthambore Tiger Reserve to introduce in the Sariska Tiger Reserve, and the population grown. Now, as of 2023, there are around 30 individual of tiger existing in the Sariska Tiger Reserve. Now come to the Panna Tiger Reserve. Panna Tiger in 2009, the administration reintroduced 2 adult female tiger from Bandhavgarh and Kanha, hoping they would mate with the last male tiger. At present, there are tiger. They did very well, and now at present there are 60 population. So these 2 areas are the most successful tiger reintroduction program story. In Sariska, there was 0 tiger. Now the population is around 30, while in Panna, the population from 0 to population has increased to 60. So these 2 are the different successful program. For the monitoring of the tiger, usually census take place. The tiger census take place every 4 years, and these census there are different techniques like camera trap, pug marks, and count. So camera trap are actually the cameras, auto cameras, which are placed in their habitat, and they keep on clicking the pictures. On the basis of their stripes on their body, we differentiate between 2 individual, and that's how the counting takes place. So camera trap is one of the important tool to do the census of the tiger. After the tiger, we'll take up the project elephant. Elephants are also very threatened species. The population has declined drastically, and because of that, the government of India, Ministry of Environment and Forest, NCC, launched Project Elephant in February 1992. The project Elephants was launched with following objective: to protect elephant, their habitat and corridors, to address issues of human-animal conflict, welfare of captive elephants. It is a central sponsored scheme to offer financial and technical assistance to its states attempt to manage their free-ranging population of wild Asiatic elephant. India has the largest number of wild Asiatic elephant, estimated to 29,964 according to the 2017 census by Project Elephant. There are 3 species of elephants, 2 in Africa, and Asia has 1. Asian elephant is the largest terrestrial mammals of India, and the major threat to the elephants are the illegal poaching and habitat loss are the major issues with the Asiatic elephants. Due to habitat loss, the current distribution of wild elephant in India is now restricted to 4 general areas, that is northeastern India, central India, northwestern India, and southern India. So elephants are mainly poached because of their ivory. They are the best material to carve, and as a trophy, people use, especially in China and the Middle East, they use the ivory jewelries and ivory showpieces for their drawing rooms and for their uses. So because of that, the population is very low of the elephant, and Project Elephant was launched. So at present, there are 33 elephant reserves in India, in different parts of India. So these are the elephant habitat. We can see with the dots, and in these potential habitat, some areas has been protected as elephant reserves. So we can see elephants are present from Tarai, Uttaranchal, Tarai of Uttarakhand, Uttaranchal, the northeast India, and Odisha, Chhattisgarh, and up to this Karnataka and part of Maharashtra. So this is the distribution also of the elephants. Apart from the among the centrally sponsored scheme, tiger and elephant, the project Rhino was also introduced in sometime in 1991 because rhinoceros are also in having very high demand in international market. Tuft of hairs on their nose is having very high medicinal values, and international market it is sold very expensive. So next is the biosphere reserve. Biosphere reserve, it is special category of protected area where human population also form a part of the ecosystem. So the area, a big area, it can include national parks, sanctuaries, or a very pristine area, including the human being and their activities can be preserved, protected under the biosphere reserve. So they are the large areas, very huge areas. They are large protected areas of usually more than 5,000 square kilometer. A biosphere reserve has three parts: core, buffer, and transitional zone. Core zone is the inner zone. This is undisturbed and legally protected area. And buffer zone lies between the core and transitional zone. Some research and education activities are permitted here. Transitional zone is the outermost part of biosphere reserve. Here, cropping, forestry, recreation, fisheries, and other activities are allowed in biosphere reserve. So this is the reserve. This is the status where animal, forest, and human can coexist. So biosphere reserve are sites established by countries and recognized by UNESCO Man and Biosphere Program to promote sustainable development based on local community effort and sound science. The program Biosphere Reserve was initiated by UNESCO in 1971. The purpose of the formation of the Biosphere Reserve is to conserve in situ all form of life along with its support system in its totality so that it could serve as a reference system for monitoring and evaluating changes in natural ecosystem. The first biosphere reserve of the world was established in 1979. Since then, the network of biosphere reserve was increased to 631 in 119 countries across the world. So we have a large network of the biosphere reserve protecting the natural forests, animals, and the human being. In India, we have altogether 18 biosphere reserve. Like we have Nilgiri Biosphere Reserve, Agastmalai Biosphere Reserve, Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve, and Biosphere Reserve. Cold Desert is again one of the Biosphere Reserve, Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. And so these are the biosphere reserve we have in India. So these biosphere reserves are having the protected areas also and the surrounding areas. These are the huge areas. The wetlands. The wetlands are traditional areas between land and water where the water table is usually at or near the surface of the land and covered by shallow water. There are four types of wetlands: marshes, swamp, bogs, and lake shores. The importance of the wetlands are they support a wide variety of plants and animal species, vital breeding ground for many aquatic organisms. This is also the rescue site for lots of migratory birds, wetlands in India. So fisheries support fishes breeding, contributing to the fish industries. Recreation, valuable for activities like bird watching, hiking, and ecotourism. The major threat to the wetlands, we know wetlands, we have wetlands in our old ages. The small ponds every house were having in the villages, and those ponds were actually the wetlands where the vegetation as well as animals were existing together. So these wetlands, these from small to big wetlands, they have been they are very very much threatened because they are very fertile. Sometimes the agriculture, they are being included in the agriculture land because they are very close to the agricultural land. So like this, encroachment and other threats are there. So habitat destruction, urbanization and agriculture can lead to the drainage and conversion of wetland. Pollution, runoff from agriculture and industrial activities can degrade water quality, because in agricultural land we are using lots of pesticide which is actually seeping in the groundwater as well as polluting the wetland also. Climate change alters water pattern and poses a threat to the declining balance of wetland ecosystem. Due to these threats, an international convention took place in Iran in 1992, and that convention called as the Ramsar Convention. Ramsar is a site, is place in the Iran, and the convention was named after the place, Ramsar Convention. So it was the convention on wetland, as it is internationally, it is an international treaty adopted in 1971. The main aim to ensure the conservation and sustainable use of wetland globally, and emphasizing the importance of wise use of wetland and recognizes them as valuable ecosystem. Designation of specific wetland as Ramsar site signifies international importance. Countries commit to conserve and sustainable managing these designated sites. Countries that are parties to the Ramsar Convention commit to taking steps to ensure the conservation and wise use of wetland within their territories. They are also required to designate at least one wetland or inclusion in the list of wetland of international importance. So those who are the party of the convention, like India is also the party of the convention, so at least they have to designate one wetland site as a Ramsar site. So the criteria of designation of any wetland. Criteria 1 is the rare and endangered species. The site should support population of plant and animal species that are rare, vulnerable or endangered. This is the one criteria. The second criteria is biodiversity significance. The wetland should be representative, rare or unique example of a natural or near natural wetlands types found within the appropriate biogeographical region. And the third criteria, ecological processes. The site must regularly support 20,000 or more water births, or it should be wetland that play a sustainable role in maintaining biological diversity. So these are the three criteria. Any wetland fulfilling these criteria can be declared as a Ramsar site. So today, the Ramsar list of the world's largest network of protected areas. There are currently over 2,300 Ramsar sites around the world. A Ramsar site is a wetland of international importance under the Ramsar Convention, an intergovernmental environmental treaty established by UNESCO in 1971 and named after the city of Ramsar in Iran, where the convention was signed that year. In 1971, the convention was signed. So, as per the Ramsar Convention on wetland, they define the wetland that area of marsh, fence, peats, land, or water, whether natural or artificial, permanent or temporary, with water that is static or flowing, fresh, brackish, or salt, including areas of marine water, the depth of which at low tide does not exceed 6 meters. So, any water body whose depth is not exceeding 6 meters, having importance, having flora and fauna, can be declared as a Ramsar site. In India, we have 80 Ramsar sites, and like this eastern area have 13, and northern area has 32 Ramsar site. This area are having 10 Ramsar site. This is 4 Ramsar site and 21 Ramsar site in the extreme south. So these are there are 80 Ramsar sites protecting the ecological importance of the area and wetlands, protecting the wetlands, and wetlands are actually the recharge the water body. It is essential as well as they are the as as per the wildlife point of view, they are the best refuge for the migratory birds. There are lots of migratory birds migrate from Siberia to India during winter. In Siberia during winter, it is all area is snow covered, so that time the birds come to India. They stay at different places from Brahmaputra River to Kelode National Park to in Aligarh we have one wetland, that is Shekha wetland. So lots of migratory birds comes during the winter and they take refuge. They stay here for that season, and when these snow melts in Siberia, they go back in March and April. So at present we have 80 Ramsar sites in India. So here is the summary. India has a network of 1014 protected area, including 106 national park, 573 wildlife sanctuaries, 115 conservation reserve, and 220 community reserve. Along with these protected area, we have 54 tiger reserve, 33 elephant reserve, 18 biosphere reserve, and 80 Ramsar sites, covering a total areas 1,75,169.42 kilometers square of geographical area of the country, which is approximately 5.32%. So with this, we cover the protected area network. We discuss all 4 protected areas as well as centrally sponsored schemes. So thank you very much, and we'll be meeting in our next class related to these issues. Ex situ conservation will be in our next class. We'll be discussing about the ex situ conservation. We have just finished discussing in situ conservation. So thank you very much.